Hello, hello, hello. Here we are. Okay. Where am I going? There I am. Hey, everybody. Let me turn the mic gain down a little bit. It might be a little loud. Let me know if volume is too loud or too high for anybody. Um, Tonight, something a little bit different I'm going to be trying to work on is the build tracker action GitHub action for build tracker. And that is, let me see if I've got it up here. I don't. Give me a moment, please. We'll bring that back over. I thought I was going to be all set up, and then I definitely just didn't get set up. So, that happens. Okay, so build tracker action. Hey, Elaine, how's it going? The build tracker action, I have it running on build tracker right now, but it is only running on pull requests and not on pushes. So to refresh a little bit, build tracker actions, or sorry, GitHub Actions rather, these are GitHub Actions over here, are kind of like GitHub's built-in in-house continuous integration, continuous deployment solution that allows you to bypass having to do any other sort of service like Circle CI or Travis CI or whatever else is out there. Um, Other services like GitLab and Bitbucket actually also have these types of things built in. In Bitbucket, I think they're called pipelines. They might be called that in GitLab as well. But they're really, really cool. They're pretty simple to configure where you're actually just building, let me see if I can bring it up here, where you're actually building, just kind of writing some YAML and telling it what jobs do you want it to run. Like here's my TypeScript run. Pretty much just at the bottom I run yarn TSC and it checks everything. I got a bunch of other crap in here that I should probably get rid of. I was trying out some other solutions for caching node modules. Doesn't seem to be necessary, so I might just delete that at some point. But if you ignore those pieces of it, it's pretty simple. So the build tracker action I had written because I wanted to, you can actually see it working here. Anytime a pull request goes up, I want to enable a build tracker instance to be run against that build. As long as you've got it all configured, it will tell you all of the different stuff that you've got going on here. So it gives you a table, which you can have collapsed by default. It's very configurable actually, and then it gives you a link where you can actually go off and see everything on the build tracker application, and it looks like Heroku is going nice and slow today. Oh shoot. Oh, I've been sharing and I'm just not sharing any of my code. There we go. Okay, it's loading. So this is back on the GitHub action on the pull request. This is what it looks like. A comment will be made. It'll be left with the table. It'll tell you about any failing or error or warning budgets that have been hit. Give you this nice little table, link to each one of the commits, and then you can view it on Build Tracker like that. So it's working really great. The problem is that it doesn't work on pushes to master. Where did that go? I lost it all, of course. So what happens now, the way that I have it configured now, is kind of manual. Let me pull that up on push. Down here, let's see, in upload build, I'm calling the actual source code because I'm working in the build tracker app, and I don't think I'm going to change this in the build tracker repository because I think it's valuable to test the actual source code is working all the time. So I'm just going to kind of leave that as it is. And but I do want to be able to have people who are using this action. I can pull up where it's used here, right down at the bottom here. So we run a build and then we say use build tracker action. Here's some config information. That's more or less all that has to be done. You do have to install whatever dependencies you have to build your application. So in this case, we need Yarn, we need to install node modules, and then we need to build our application. That was another thing. If there's time, I want to get to adding an option to allow you to tell the action what your build process is so that it'll build it for you if you don't want to do that in a separate step like I've done here. So this is the issue. I would rather people be able to use this out of the box for both pull requests and pushes and not have to do what I've done here, which is some craziness. So we're going to have to learn a bunch of stuff tonight. I don't have any idea what I'm doing because don't worry about that security alert. I'll deal with that later. Or let me pull up the action. Here it is. Get rid of these. I haven't published this yet to the marketplace. It's not done. That's why. So this is pretty much it for the action. Bigify that a little bit. I can pull up the code. The way GitHub Actions, if you want to write your own custom GitHub action that can be used by multiple other services, you have a repository and you create this action.yaml file or YML file. I don't know if it makes a difference whether you add the A or not. We fought long and hard back in my day for more than one character or more than 3 characters on file extensions so that we could have HTML. If anyone's old like me, they'll remember that. So you should be able to use YAML, Y-A-M-L, not YML. Okay, diverging again. So the meat of this, so these are inputs. Let me clap those. Those are options that I can pass through. This is just branding. So if I deploy this to the GitHub marketplace, I can set the icon that they give. There are a bunch of different options and the color of the icon. That's about it. They don't let you set custom branding or anything like that. So let's see. GitHub. Oh, actually, I could probably get there from here. No. GitHub Marketplace. Here we go. Let's see what the other options are. Let me just search about GitHub Actions. That might be better. Actions documentation. That's what I want. Configuring. I want creating your own GitHub action. Building actions. Create your own actions. Okay. So Actions are essentially run. My understanding is that you spin up, every action spins up a Docker container, or every job rather, in, where did it go? Every one of these jobs that's defined. So I've got this housekeeping job, this type check job, this run test job. Each one of these is deployed to a new Docker instance every time that it runs. So in this case, it's saying run on Ubuntu latest. I probably don't need to have full Ubuntu on every one of these. Probably maybe speed things up a little bit by removing that. Actually, let's see what is available. Now let's forget what that. We're dealing with this. So you can write a GitHub action as your own Docker container, or you can write a simplified one in which they choose what Docker container to use for you by writing a JavaScript action. So that's what I've chosen, is to write a JavaScript action. And they actually have, I thought they had like an example somewhere. Here's their example. So you can have inputs and outputs, and you can just have it run something. So the runs is what we care about. So saying using node 12, I want to run this JavaScript file. And that's pretty much it. That's about all you get. The key that I've found here is that you do need to track your node modules. So you'll actually see I do not have a git ignore for node modules in here, because if you don't include them, you have to have a way to install them yourself and then reload your action. Alternatively, you can run a build process to build your action into like a single file or something. I tried to do that a little bit. It was kind of a pain, so I just said, for now, I'm just going to include the node modules in the repo and come back to that later. So back on here, you'll actually see I've got the node modules included in here. There's a lot of stuff. That's fine for now. So where is the issue that was posted? So this is also in response to an issue that was opened in which Pyrish, looking at adopting build tracker for Lighthouse, the problem is he wanted to use the build tracker action. He thought he could just use it on push, but it only works on pull request. So that's what we're trying to fix today, is allow it to work on push as well as pull request. So that's where I have to learn what I'm doing and find out let me walk through the code again, because it's been a little while since I was in it, to remind myself and everyone else kind of what it does. So let's see, we've got let's see, down at the bottom, I've written this with async await. So in order to trigger a top level async function, you kind of have to do some crazy invocation of it right away. It's fine. Ignore that. Don't worry about it. We require a GitHub token. So the GitHub token is required in order to publish that comment back to the pull request, just for, where did it go? Build tracker. Nope, come here. Again, that is this comment right here. So in order to post a comment, you have to have a token, and that's just given to you kind of for free, I think. Let me see how I've configured that. Oh, we've got GitHub token. All you have to do is add secrets GitHub token, and you should be good. It kind of nicely just works. So then back to this. So what we're doing, so we get the token, and we initialize this GitHub, or OctoKit is what it's called. So that comes from the actions GitHub. GitHub. That comes from this package. So this, oh geez, no. Let's go to find it. Actions. Okay, there we go. So this is a hydrated OctoKit client. And essentially what it does is by, let's see, follows machine proxy client. It kind of gives us an interface to the GitHub REST API for everything, if I'm understanding that right. So when I pass it through here, you can see that in this case, I'm saying issues, try and find issues on the, essentially I'm trying to find all of the comments that match the data that I'm passing in. Yeah, let me come back to that. So we initialize this OctoKit and we call the run function. So I'll get back to what I was talking about with how we use it. The run function actually also receives this context, which comes from a magic global variable. No, it comes from the actions GitHub that we require. So let me find out. You get the context of the current action. So that's what it is. So the context of the current action is what? Please tell me. Oh no, they don't tell me. Oh, that's just mean. Why don't they tell me what that context of the current action actually is? I did find out that it relates to the REST data. So let me see if I can find GitHub Actions context. Yeah, I'm crying too. Data. Maybe it's in here. I'm just going to end up with a million tabs open. Context. Context. Here we go. You can access context information. So this is what I'm going to want to deal with. This is not what I thought it was going to be. Let's go back to the other docs about creating a JavaScript thing. Here we go. Does this have anything about context? Okay. Get the JSON webhook payload. Cool. Can you tell me where I find out what that payload looks like, please? That's all I want. Oh, it's just so mean. They have really great API docs, which I'm gonna have to go and hope that's exactly what it is. So GitHub push REST API. This part of the schema is currently available for. No, that's not what I want. I don't want the. That's the GraphQL API. Is it commits? It might be a commit. Yeah, I want the V3 API. Here we go. So do they have pushes in here? No. So I'm guessing that the context will be a commit, and I'm going to have to do a bunch of work to verify this. But right now, so the way it works right now is the context that we're dealing with is going to be the pull request itself. So pull requests have this weird, actually I could probably pull up the data for it. Pull requests. Where's the whole? Here's the whole response. So they are going to have, where's issue? Nope, 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 nope. Is that what I want? They're not helping me out here at all with this. If anybody from GitHub ends up watching, please make these docs better, or the actions docs, because I just want to know what that context is without having to um, run the whole thing. It would be really, really helpful. What I did find before is that, so we've got owner, repo, and number. Let's see if number is in here. So this is the content of context.issues. So we end up with a whole mess of data that we can pull out related to it. And we use that to, and the payload, oh, here's pull request. I don't know why they're two different things. Parent revision, we can get the branch, and we use all of that to, oh, what is create build? Oh, yes. So we use all of these things to actually call the build tracker CLI, get the configuration, create a build, and upload it straight to the build tracker instance that we've deployed already. And once that comes back, we get this API response. And that's where we kind of construct the contents of that comment and then add it to the pull request down at the bottom. So what I'm going to need to do here, though, is essentially fork this function right here, depending on whether it's a PR or commit / push, whatever it is. So I guess the first thing for me to do is I'm going to, I guess, just console log the entire context object to find out what I'm dealing with. So otherwise I'm not going to know what to do. And I'm actually just going to go ahead and throw new error, call it on purpose, because I don't want this to continue running after that error. And in order to test this, I've got on the right-hand side here, I've got my build tracker action folder. So git status, and see the change I just made. I added console log for that giant object, and then I throw an error. I'm actually going to log that as a string version, json.string if I, no, two. That way Node won't try to truncate the object if it goes too deep. Makes things just a little bit easier to read, to debug. Otherwise, we're going to end up doing it multiple times. So I got this, and I'm actually going to move to a new branch. Do I have any branches here? Git checkout-b on push, I'm going to call this. And feature add push handling, even though it's not really. And then I'm going to say push. The problem is now I need a way to test this. And in all of my searching, I didn't find a good, cheap, easy way to test any of this other than actually just run it on a repo, which really sucked. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to create a new repo, a test repo, and just start using it, I guess. That seems like the easiest way. OBS just died on me. I don't know if it's still running or not. Let's see. I wonder if it created a new YouTube on me. Probably did, which is super rude. It says I'm live now. Pardon me while I troubleshoot why this is so bad. Oh no, it says started 25 minutes ago. It seems like it reconnected me. That's good and handy. No, my internet didn't go away. OBS, the streaming software, last time I used it too, it seemed to just like die out early on into it, and I don't really know why. So hopefully it doesn't continue happening. Let me also make sure some other things are not running. I'm actually going to close the build tracker project. My CPU is like hammered right now. and I'm really not sure why. Troubleshooting, technical difficulties. What is using all of my CPU? Windows Server, cool. It's using 541% of my CPU. I can't really do anything about that. It seems to be starting to drop down. Let's see if this helps. Um, Hide that. Rid of that. Oop, go away. Hopefully it drops down a bit. I'm not dropping any frames yet. Anyway, where were we? Okay, I was going to make a new repo to test this. And what I was saying was that essentially the only ways I could find to test it were to spin up these like huge expensive Docker containers locally and do a whole bunch of roundabout things, which seem like it takes just as much time to create a new repo and do the same thing. So let's just, sure, why not? Let's see. So I'm gonna pull this down, clone that, cd test repo, and then technical difficulties. I don't know what's going on here. Hopefully this reconnected me. I don't know why it's crashing. Everything is working just fine otherwise. So let me see if how many, let's see, videos. Pardon me while I look at a few extra things. Oh yeah, Twitch is just making a whole bunch of different versions of me. That's cool. But YouTube seems to have reconnected nicely. It's nice. Okay, bye-bye that. Sorry. I don't know what to do here. It just keeps crashing. Hopefully it will stop crashing now. Maybe 2 times is the charm. Okay, back to where I was at. Making repo. And let's see. Make their GitHub. And what was it? Workflows I needed? Oh, yeah, I need a workflows. Workflows. And in there, flows pushed up YML. Okay, let me see if I can get that file open. This is super frustrating. So I'm getting really frustrated with streaming software tonight. As you may notice, I don't know what to do here, other than just kind of hope everything is working. Maybe. Let me fix my video a bit more. Shrug emoji. Where's my shrug? Weird. Let's try to keep going. So, or close, push. Let's not do it that way. That sounds like a lot of work. OBS, work. Do the thing I tell you to do. Is there some sort of like crash protection I can get on this? It's really, really frustrating. I don't know what to do here, y'all. Let's see. Let me just check on one more thing. I don't know. I'm just gonna keep struggling. If it crashes again, I'm probably just gonna give up and go play video games. So I don't really have a good solution otherwise. Okay. Try one more time. Okay, so I think I figured it out. Every time I open a new window, it crashes. So I'm just not going to open any new windows and hope it's okay. I don't know. But for serious, this is my last time. Otherwise, I'm giving up. Let's see. So, oh shoot, oh no, and I closed it, didn't I? All right, well, we're gonna have to reference it this way. What was the documentation for this? Creating a JavaScript action, or no, I need to, where's the, just like getting started? Oh, just about core concept using. Just give me a easy example here. There we go. Name on push.